Uh,
'Cause my glass of water is not in the place over here, is it? We'll go live. Yeah.
She is also the founder and CEO of a nonprofit organization called I Have a Dream Too, Inc. I had to. Just ask me. Jacqueline is an entrepreneur, empowerment coach, motivational speaker, and visionary. She believes that all people can redefine their purpose, their place, and their possibilities through determination, persistence, and tenacity. Jacqueline has begun to crystallize her goals. Without difficulty, she continues to make plans daily to achieve all possibilities. With her supreme confidence, determination, and disregard for obstacles and other people's criticisms, she will carry out her plans. Why? I have a dream too. Jacqueline knows she can dream anything she wants to dream. That's the beauty of the human mind. Jacqueline can do anything she wants to do. That is the strength of the human will. Most importantly, Jacqueline trusts herself to test all limits. This will be Jacqueline's courage to succeed. Come join me on this journey of empowerment because you have a dream too.
Good evening. Happy New Year. And welcome to my show, I Have a Dream Too. And we have a very special show tonight going into the new year for 2015. A great health and wellness and saving lives for our people. So tonight I have a special guest, Mr. Arthur Lee. And he is the owner, CEO of LifeVac. And he has his daughter here with us, also named Jackie. And he's here to talk about this, I say, a very clever, brilliant device that he has created and developed to help save people's lives. So welcome, Arthur.
Thank you.
Good
you very
evening.
much
Good
for
evening,
having
and
me.
Jackie. Thank you. All righty. So Arthur, this device, okay, the LifeVac. What is this LifeVac about?
Well, basically, my inspiration's right here. The love of my life, my daughter, Jacqueline. I was visiting a friend. His mother was in the hospital, and she was getting something done, and we were just talking. And this was 2 years ago, and he told me the story of a child that came in and died, had choked on a grape. And at that moment, I thought of my daughter and the fact that I couldn't take that. That would be a horrible, the pain, and I've had the loss in my life that I know that pain, but not in this capacity.
Right, as a child.
And that moment, from that night forward, I went home and just like your show, I went into my garage and persevered to prevent choking. And ton of trial and error, failed, tried, right? How many things we try. And we finally were able to come up with something and that can save people's lives.
Right. But before that, you were going down the aisles of Home Depot looking for this device. And this really came about because I think you may have done some plumbing or from.
Well, I always make her birthday presents, so I kind of have a creative building mind. Mm-hmm. And what had happened was I had been on like my 13th failure of a way to do it. Mm-hmm. By that time, I had started to learn. My sister's a doctor. She was educating me on the medical side of the tragedy. And I started to understand the physics. Mm-hmm. How much is it stuck? And I just failed again on another contraption. And I took a deep breath and I said, plumbers unclog pipes. Let me back it down to the simplicity of it. It had to be easy to use, and it had to last forever, which this will, and it had to be economical because I need them in every school. I need them in every house where you have a child under 15 or someone over 65. And I found the plunger.
Right, because it looks simply like something that you would use in your tub or your sink.
Yeah. The physics of it is what's necessary to dislodge the object. And the simplicity and the material, both economic and will last forever. Mm-hmm. So with perseverance and dedication, we were able to develop the actual LifeVac, the product. Mm-hmm. And the unit itself the key is it has a valve that you can hear so that it will not push the object in.
Okay, but it will.
So when you
send
push
out.
it down, the air expels and you create the suction and you pull out the object. And it was all because of my buddy that drove me to not have anyone have that tragedy ever again. One child every 5 days chokes to death, 5 people a year, and we lost 3 to 5 in the school system this year.
This year, and it's only January 7th.
Well, I'm sorry, last year.
Right,
But
last year. Mm-hmm.
most recently in Brooklyn, we lost a student that choked to death that our independent studies show would have been okay.
Right. So this device, may I? Okay. Is lightweight. It's portable. And that, as I hear from you, that every household with children under the age of 15, okay, should have this. Every school should have this. Every restaurant where meals are served should have this. So I know we're going to do a demonstration later, okay, in terms of seeing how simple, okay, it is to save a life. But in terms of just how we empower people, and again, this show is about redefining your purpose, your place, your possibilities. And you redefined yourself in this process because you weren't doing this before.
I had built my career in shipping, and I had sold my company, and I was ready to relax, retire, basically. I had a short consulting period, and the story of a child my daughter's age drove me to tackle it. And it's a challenging thing because it's a lightning bolt, you know? The medical community sees a body.
Right.
The person sees it that has no training sees a tragedy. So it's this enigma that existed in between anyone really saying there's a way to fix that. But because of her, I was determined to find that way.
Right.
And that's what we did. And we did it together. Her and I in the garage, right? Remember when we pulled the olive pit? That we did it together. She was with me.
Great. Jacqueline. Can I call you Jackie like myself?
Sure.
Okay, great. What do you think about your father's device?
Well, I think that it's very creative of the use of it, because if you really would think about it, all it is like stuff that you normally find at a hardware store.
Right.
So to put it together and become a life-saving device, I find is really cool and creative.
So I'm sure in your school, have you talked about this with the kids in your school and how your father has come up with this, and you now probably have a little fan club, okay? How's that been for you?
It's been good.
It's been good? Okay, great. And so this device cost, individual cost. What is it cost?
Well, it's quite a little bit of a dilemma. We're on back order now, fortunately, because we've been able to start getting them out there. The website's down. We'll connect. The site will come back up on Friday, and it's probably going to come in around $90.
$90 for this device. Okay.
The device includes the kit, which has training, it has orientation, it has 3 masks, because it comes with a test mask so that the home user can get comfortable using it. It's an FDA-approved Class 1, but it's BLS, which is Basic Life Support, much like the Heimlich. So you don't need accreditation to use it, but we recommend getting very comfortable with it. Like in my house, I would be, she has all her friends over. I'm not as terrified.
Okay.
Because I know that it's a click away and they'll be all right.
The mask comes in different sizes for children and adults?
Yeah, it comes with a test mask so you can practice it just like it did on this counter, as well as long as the key is to hold it firmly. We'll do a demo. That'll pull it out.
So it creates that suction. Okay.
And it comes with a test mask so you can get comfortable with it.
Right.
And then there's an adult and a adolescent face mask
Okay.
in the kit.
Okay. And right now you're on back order?
Until Friday.
Till Friday. Okay, very
But
good.
you can, I want people to have this that need it. And you come on and register, we'll get you one. You can go on and sign up.
You can go on now to the website, sign up for the device,
We'll get you
and
one.
you'll just go on the wait list, but you'll get it out there because they've already signed up.
Yeah.
Okay. Is there anything else in terms of the device itself? It comes also in this box or this canister, I would say, that it's usable, and it has instructions in it as well that will help you to be able to, again, provide you information, a little booklet that will give you information on the use of the LifeVac, the history behind it, and why it's so necessary.
Well, we include a prevention piece because I would be happy if it was never used, but it includes prevention to understand the dangers and as well as the ability how to use it both practice and emergency situation. We're after protocol, so the first thing you do is follow protocol. Do the back slap, do the Heimlich, call 911. When the person loses consciousness, which will be in seconds, under a minute, then the life back will be useful and will, I pray, will save the life of the person.
Okay. Have you had any success stories
No,
yet with
it's
it? Yeah.
catching lightning, you know.
It's just-
We need to be, you know, the pain is in Brooklyn this year, in Phoenix this year. If we were there, I feel comfortable. I can't say 100%, but I feel comfortable those kids will be alive. So I need it in the school for that lightning bolt. It's going to happen. One child every 5 days. I just need it in the right spot.
Okay. So it's really in the school system, the
That's my goal.
educational system, to be able to, I guess I would say, provide a teaching seminar, so to speak, on how to use it, why it's necessary. But
It's all
to
online. You
be-
can get very comfortable with it by just getting it and then watching the videos, and you will be competent. It's push, pull.
Okay. Some people like to see the demonstration, which
Absolutely.
we will see later on. But again, just teaching it out and explaining why it's so necessary for every child, every teacher, every staff person to be able to pick up this device and save a child's life.
That's the goal.
Okay, and I think that's real important, and I applaud you for being able,
Thanks.
and Jackie also, to stick with her dad and be able to say, we can do this. And that's really what the show is about, is not giving up on your dream and going after it. You said is something whereby it took many trials, okay, to be able to put it together. But during those trial periods, you could have said, you know what, I'm about to retire, I don't want to do this.
Oh, not to mention the sheer fact of getting it approved, getting a prototype, getting it manufactured, FDA, insurance, testing, the perseverance that people need from your type of show and your type of heart, right? Never give up,
Right.
is what this was all about, for
Right.
real. And it was driven by her. And I don't want someone else or me to
Right,
have
the
that.
experience, right, exactly.
And that's where you never give up. That's where you persevere, right?
Okay, great. So we're going to take a little short break, and we'll be right back.
Hi, my name is Dr. Tom Dow. We have a multidisciplinary practice in Melville and Ronkonkoma, New York, and we treat patients with many, many different conditions, from newborns through geriatric patients with numerous different techniques. There's a technique and a type of treatment for every class of patient. We have them all here. Here's my son Thomas, also a doctor of chiropractic, working on one of our patients' cervical spine. This patient has had chronic neck pain for many, many, many years, has been to a multitude of different practitioners with little or no response. And with our specialized techniques, she has improved tremendously and continues to improve on a daily basis. We have two practices, one in Melville and one in Ronkonkoma, New York. We are a multidiscipline chiropractic office. What that means is we have chiropractors, massage therapists, acupuncturists, psychologists, all working as a team and a network of outside professionals such as orthopedists and neurologists that we work hand in hand with to help determine what your injuries are and the best way to treat your injuries. I have the great pleasure of having my son in practice with me. We work hand in hand, father and son, to give our patients the best care possible, and a staff which is loving, caring, and you'll never have to wait at all in our office for service. Many times patients come into our office and they have what's called a soft tissue injury. Soft tissue injuries are like scars inside your body. If you've ever been cut on the outside of your body, you get a scar. The same thing happens inside of your body to your muscles and ligaments. So our job is to determine where those are, stretch the muscles, adjust the vertebra back into their correct position, and then refortify the normal structure with exercise. That's what we do best, and I hope someday you'll come see us at one of our 2 offices. Thank you.
Let our creativity work for you. We design business cards, brochures, annual reports, newsletters and magazines, menus and programs, flyers and mailers, signs and posters, and more. We also do voiceovers. First impressions matter. Make yours count with an expressive voice artist. Distinctive, warm, soothing, natural delivery that can add believability and appeal to any audio project. Contact us to discuss how we can make your project a success. Sierra Graphics. That's info@sierragraphics.com.
Welcome back to I Have a Dream Too, Empowering You. We just were speaking with Arthur Lee. He's the CEO of LifeBag. So now he's going to demonstrate this clever device that he has created along with his daughter, Jackie, who's here with me too, saving lives. And I think it's very important in terms of the choking that goes on. Sometimes it's unseen, it's unheard, and how often it goes on throughout this country. And so the purpose of this show and this segment really is to provide education and awareness that a very simple device can save lives. So we're going to switch over to Arthur now, and he's going to give us a demonstration with, what's the person on the floor is Charlie?
That's Charlie.
Okay. So Arthur, you're going to give us a demonstration on the device and how it is simply used and cost effective, but yet saving lives.
The LifeVac in itself is just a compression with a valve to release it so that the object is never forced down into the victim, and the suction to pull it out. The recommended use of the LifeVac is after protocol. So you've done the backside, done the Heimlich, called 911. The person loses consciousness at this point. So what we're going to do is you take your LifeVac, get a good seal on the person's face, plunger, and pull. And you save the victim from choking to death. The physics
Might
of
want to
it.
switch around to the front.
I'm
To the
sorry?
back. You want to show
Oh.
from the other side? Mm-hmm.
I'm not as good at lefty. As you see, it will dislodge the object. The key is when you have full blockage that you're getting no air. So the key factor is to allow the body to get oxygen. You have minutes, 4 minutes, you're starting to develop brain damage. You're going to lose consciousness probably in under a minute, where you'll turn into Charlie, and you will need a LifeVac, because as the body loses consciousness, becomes limp, much more difficult to form any kind of Heimlich or backslap maneuver. And that's where the LifeVac will come into play after protocol to save the life. 1 child every 5 days, 10 people a day. And you know, the kids in the school this year that unfortunately didn't make it. So that's the LifeVac.
And also this device, as I said, is very lightweight, that even your daughter can even do the same actual demonstration as well. She can do the same demonstration. She can utilize this. So you don't have to be an adult in the home where someone may be choking. Am I correct that even a child can create the same type of suction?
Well, there's about 100 million Americans that the Heimlich is not a necessary or a probable safety valve. We have anywhere from pregnancy to living alone. disabled. Very high percentage of dysplasia, which is a choking disorder that is accompanied with Alzheimer's, MS, lupus, Lou Gehrig's disease, any neurological condition. The Heimlich is challenging on someone who's bedridden or someone who's large. You know, that we have a lot of people that, you know, Heimliching their spouse would be a challenge. You know, the LifeVac will work on yourself. So for our elderly people or those of us who are alone, it's a useful alternative, as well as the people who the Heimlich is not physically capable to be done. So it has its usefulness aside from after protocol.
Okay. And again, it's a lightweight device. It's something, the message really is, what I'm hearing, is to create the awareness, to create the education amongst the school systems, restaurants, individual homes or families, children, 15 and under. This device should be in every single home. It is life-saving, just like carbon dioxide detectors, fire detectors, things of that nature. Every home has them, and it saves lives, and that has been proven. So this simple device, where Arthur has just demonstrated it, is something that's very important, and we look forward to seeing all the wonderful things that this will accomplish. Arthur?
Well, yeah, my passion, because of my daughter, has been to be in school. That we lose children there, and the danger in under 15, where it's a leading cause of accidental death, is your windpipe is very small in a child, your lung capacity is very low, and in the school environment, in the cafeteria, they're playing. A few months ago in Brooklyn, we lost someone, a student, and this year in Phoenix, we also lost one, and the environment is very dangerous, and it's not anyone's necessary fault, but we have children who are eating and talking and laughing, and it's very dangerous. We have other things, of course, in life. We have fire extinguishers, but my passion is that it is a leading cause of accidental death. It's in the top 5. So it's something that is fairly likely to happen, with 4,000 a year that we lose. And if we get it in the schools, we get it out there, we're going to save lives, and we're not going to have the tragedy that broke my heart and drove me to do this. And that's my goal.
Thank you. We're going to take a short break. We'll be right back.
My name is Dr. Robert Brevard. I'm here for Multi-Medicine in Westbury, New York. We're located at 1065 Old Country Road, Suite 214. Been here for about 15 years. The practice has medical doctors, physical therapists, chiropractors, acupuncturists. We also do pain management, and we have orthopedists on staff. Here at Advanced Multi-Medicine Rehabilitation, we've got physical therapists on staff who treat an array of conditions, from neck pain to back pain, shoulder pain. We treat carpal tunnel. We treat a lot of car accident patients, slip and falls. We treat patients with knee injuries, with ankle injuries. We have state-of-the-art equipment. We've been here for over 15 years. A vast array of diagnostic testing, from x-rays to EMGs. What is an EMG? It's a diagnostic test that allows a doctor to determine where the pinched nerve is. Cora is a physical therapist at Advanced Multi-Medicine and Rehabilitation. She's working on Stephanie, who was involved recently in an automobile accident. Stephanie has tight thoracic and cervical musculature, and Cora is doing some myofascial release work and some therapeutic stretching, doing it to help her with her pain. Vicky is also a patient here at Advanced Multi-Medicine and Rehabilitation. Vicky is now working her leg muscles, specifically her quadricep muscles, trying to strengthen them after an injury she sustained. If you find yourself in need of any type of physical therapy, please don't hesitate to call Advanced Multi-Medicine and Rehabilitation, located in Westbury, New York, in Suite 214. Phone number is 516-334-7000, or find us on our website at advancedmultimedicine.com.
Yo, what's up, y'all? This is Lee PMC, and the place to be, the greatest MC in history. There will never be an MC greater than me. And right about now, the only place for you to be is with the one and only Madhouse TV. You are the man.
Let our creativity work for you. We design business cards, brochures, annual reports, newsletters and magazines, menus and programs, flyers and mailers, signs and posters, and more. We also do voiceovers. First impressions matter. Make yours count with an expressive voice artist. Distinctive, warm, soothing, natural delivery that can add believability and appeal to any audio project. Contact us to discuss how we can make your project a success. Sierra Graphics. That's info@sierragraphics.com.
Welcome back. We just had a great demonstration by Arthur with the incredible device, life-saving device, to prevent choking, LifeVac. Very simple to use and so forth. And so, Arthur, this has been great. And now where can people find you? What's coming up for LifeVac at this point?
Well, thank you for everything. I mean, very appreciative to be here. The LifeVac can be found at lifevac.net. I encourage everyone to take a look. I mean, for the inspiration as well, and that you can see all about it. You can see it demonstrated. You'll see the statistics of where it needs to be. Help me. Help me get it in the schools, because we don't want our tragedies. That's why I'm here. It's lifevac.net. Coming up, we've made inroads with schools, and we have a wonderful team partnership with Girls Inc., which is an amazing organization. I cannot say a nicer word about an organization. Amazing work they're doing. And we're coming up on being available to I can't say that, but a police department's going to have them in all their vehicles. We're getting close. And my plea, get one and put it in your kid's school. We have the program called ACT. It's Avoid Choking Tragedies. It's education, awareness training, and a life hack. I'm not the life. If there was something else, I'd say maybe use that. But that's what it is now. Get one, go to your school that your child's in, and insist it be there. Who cares? You want your child to come home from school. It's probably the number one reason they're not gonna. It's a leading cause of death under 15. So let's act. Don't wait.
Right.
It happens in an instant, and it changes your life horrifically forever. Jackie made me know that, and I said that's not happening. I did all this because of that.
Right.
So lifevac.net, and check it out and take action.
Right.
That's what we're here for.
Jackie, is there anything you want to say?
No.
No?
No.
Very proud of you, Dad, right?
Yes.
To see all of this come true. It's like a dream come true, right?
Yeah.
Okay, great. So, yes, go on to lifevac.net, and you'll be able to order your simple device, put it in your home, restaurants, schools, anywhere where people are, human beings are, where there is a likelihood of choking to occur. So, like I said, Arthur, I want to thank you for coming on to the show. This has been great, quite informative,
thanks.
of course. And Jackie, also you too, for empowering your father, really, to make this something that is actually going to go places and perhaps be seen around the world as well. So it's been a pleasure to be able to share this dream with you. And so we'll be right back in a few minutes. Thank you.
1.3 million women are victims of physical assault by an intimate partner each year, According to the National Coalition Against Domestic Violence, the majority of cases aren't reported to the police. Most people who are in an abusive relationship don't even know they're in one. The truth is, all abusive relationships boil down to one thing: control.
How do you like it? My new dress.
Are you out of your mind? You look like a prostitute. We're not going out with you dressed up like that in public.
But what am I supposed to wear?
Wear something decent. You can't wear that out in public. We're going to be late. Get back in there and pick a different outfit. I'm going to go run some errands. I'll be back in 30 minutes. Please be ready, okay?
Fine, I'll change. Fine.
Abuse is not always physical, leaving wounds that are visible on the outside. Emotional abuse is just as painful, only these wounds are hidden on the inside.
Are you out of your mind? You're crazy. You look like a prostitute.
Know that abuse is abuse, no matter what the form.
Look at me.
Oh my God, what's wrong with me?
Physical abuse scars the body,
I just wanted to love me.
but mental abuse scars the mind.
What you just saw was an example of a relationship that is emotionally abusive. Nobody has the right to tell you how to dress or how to act. If someone really cares for you, they won't tear you down. They will build you up.
How do you like it?
Wow. You look great. Fantastic. But then again, you look great all the time.
Thank you. I was hoping you'd like it. It's my new dress. I bought it just so we could go out tonight.
You look stunning.
Thank you. But I think I'm going to take a sweater just in case it gets cold tonight.
Great idea. I'm going to take one too. Let's go.
All relationships are not perfect, but a healthy relationship is when two people bring out the best in each other and have each other's good in mind. Take your time to know someone instead of rushing into something. It is better not to involve yourself with an abusive person than to try and get out of a domestic violence situation.
If someone is abusive to you and you need help, please call the Domestic Violence Hotline at 1-800-799-SAFE. That's 1-800-799-SAFE. They have highly trained experts available 24/7 who will speak with you confidentially and offer information regarding the unhealthy aspects of your relationship, resources, or immediate support for victims to find safety and live lives free of abuse. Domestic violence affects us all.
It affects us all.
Nos afecta a todos.
It affects us all.
모두에게 영향을 줍니다.
Che ci ricarte tutte.
It affects us all.
Domestic violence.
Welcome back to I Have a Dream Too, and now back with another awesome guest, Vanessa Cafiero. She is the owner of Emerge Yoga and Wellness. And welcome, Vanessa.
Thank you, Jackie.
Oh, great. I thought it was great to have you on. Again, it's the beginning of the year, and we want people to be able to feel healthy. We want them to feel stress-free. We want them to be able to just relax and be at peace. So you were the perfect person to do that. So now you have a studio in Belmore, a very beautiful studio, actually. But before this all happened, Vanessa, how did this all come for you?
So if you would have asked me 10 years ago, I would have never thought that what I'm doing now would have come into fruition. I started taking yoga classes when I was about 15 years old. I had chronic scoliosis and was actually recommended to go for spinal surgery. And that was one of those things. My parents didn't want me to go. I was avidly against having that happen. So I got into yoga. I heard it was really good for stretching, opening the back, and into massage therapy as well. And when I was 20 years old, I noticed that those two modalities, they weren't the be-all, end-all, but they really helped me being in chronic pain. And it's one of those things, when you're in chronic pain, sometimes you don't realize how good you can feel until you're not in it anymore. Right. So when I was 20 years old, I got my license to be a massage therapist. I've been practicing privately since then. And when I was up in Ithaca, New York, that's where I went to massage school, I was introduced to yoga and a lot of other holistic approaches to wellness. I did a 6-month herbal medicine class there. I learned a lot about essential oils. And I saw that it wasn't just about one thing that would bring me to that place of health. When I got back from massage school, I automatically went to do a yoga teacher training. And the weekend that I finished my yoga teacher training, I was on this path of health and wellness. I was in a severe car accident where I was told it was a miracle that I was still alive.
Wow.
Not only did I incur a tremendous amount of physical injuries, I had a severe brain injury where I was told by a neurologist that I would have a learning disability and a speech impediment for the rest of my life. And I'm one of those people, when someone says you can't, I'm that person. I'm like, well, I'm going to show you how I can. And fortunately, at that time, I've already been introduced to so many different modalities of holistic healthcare that I was able to treat myself via massage. Something called myofascial release therapy was very beneficial for my injuries. Cranial sacral therapy, essential oils. I tell people I had almost 40 stitches to the right side of my face.
No kidding.
And using lavender and frankincense, believe it or not, you would never be able to tell that I had a scratch.
You see nothing.
And it was at that time, having a brain injury and not being able to do anything physical for an extended period of time, I got into a meditation practice. And above and beyond everything else, that provided the grounding for me that I feel allowed me to heal so quickly.
Wonderful. Excellent. So now you have this beautiful studio in Belmore.
Yes.
Belmore, New York, that is. And it offers all of the same things that you just talked about, the health, the wellness, the oils, and so forth. And so what does yoga do therapeutically? You talked about for yourself, but in terms of your clients that you now service as well, because now you can share your stories and you are a testimony to others how impactful yoga can be. Talk a little bit about that.
When I first heard about yoga and meditation, I was like, oh, this is a little hippy-dippy. What are you going to do more than just breathe? How is this going to benefit me? And when people talk about a mind-body-spirit connection, I think it can get brushed off to the side, being a little bit of a new age approach.
Right.
But if you look at what goes on scientifically, physiologically in your body, how you think, how you react to different things in your life, from your finances to the foods that you're putting in your mouth that are going to create a chemical change in your body and affect your hormones, all come into play with how you feel.
Yes.
So yoga isn't, for me, just doing stretches. That's a big part of it because that's a way that we can stay physically flexible and in shape. But beyond that, it's an approach of bringing mindful awareness to whatever you're doing and being able to find that grounding in the midst of the chaos that life provides all the time. You know, I've never met one person that says, my life is just easy, no problems ever arise whatsoever. So it's not about just getting to this place of being in Zen land, sitting in a cave forever.
Right.
But it's saying, I'm going to know what to do and how to ground within myself when everything externally seems really challenging.
Right. So it's almost like a synergy of the mind, the body, and the soul. You have anti-gravity, okay? That's the...
So when I was opening up a yoga studio on Long Island, I was 25. We're open for almost 3 years in March. And I knew that businesses in my field were a dime a dozen. And I wanted to bring something a little innovative to Long Island because I knew that that would be getting the people in. The first time I took an anti-gravity class, I went in with this attitude like, this is ridiculous. What are we doing? We hang from hammocks that are rigged to the ceiling that support 1,000 pounds each. So people ask me all the time, you know, it's good for anybody. And what's really incredible about this technique is it fuses the mindfulness of yoga with a cardiovascular technique that helps you get deeper into your muscles, supports balance, and at the same time provides the therapeutic effects of what's known as a zero compression inversion. And in almost all of the classes at the studio, you have an opportunity to go upside down with no pressure on your spine. Being someone who suffered with chronic back pain from scoliosis, having that opportunity to go upside down actually alleviates a lot of the compression that keeps me feeling stuck in my body.
So someone who's interested in that type of class, I'm sure there is a pre-learner class, okay, someone who's afraid to go upside down, okay. What does that look like exactly? Because I've seen it at the studio, and I've seen, you know, people women upside down, kids, okay?
Absolutely.
And so forth. And so I'm sure there are some supports there in terms of being able to achieve the optimum level of the anti-gravity.
We have classes that range from Mommy and Me or Grown Up and Me, where a child could be as young as 6 months old and go into the hammocks with their parents to work on proprioceptive awareness and fine-tuning motor skills, all the way up to classes where I've had women in their 50s and 60s, men as well, going in the hammocks, and it's been something that's been a great way for them to get in shape. And at the same time, if you're coming in with injuries, if you're that person who's saying, I'm not balanced, I can't do yoga, the hammocks allow you to go deeper into a stretch and at the same time support you in those stretches so you can monitor your resistance and it'll be accessible to everyone.
Right, and I'm sure it also kind of dispels a little fear once you really get used to it. And that creates a little higher level of self-esteem, I think, confidence level, because now you're able to be that in that anti-gravity atmosphere and being able to elevate yourself. You have some other classes also that speak to in terms of, you know, because I have read where yoga is very good for trauma, children that have suffered trauma through abuse or neglect and so forth. And I know that in a lot of our schools, again, back in the schools again, helping children to achieve higher level of academic performance. And a lot of pressure is placed on them with all the testing and state testing and so forth. But I do know that you're a great proponent or someone who definitely believes in being able to utilize yoga and other techniques for that. Speak on that a little bit.
Absolutely. It was about 5 years ago, I had a friend who started a non-for-profit to get yoga into the school system. And it was a lot of bringing yoga to younger kids and everything else. And she had this group of teenage boys in a foster home. And she's like, Vanessa, you are the right person for them. And I actually did a few classes over at Mercy First is a place on Long Island. And St. John's is out in the Rockaways, I believe. And we got together we started with a 5-week series, and then we actually did 8 weeks a few times after because it was so successful. These were boys and then eventually girls in one of the schools that were taken out of their homes. Either they were in juvenile hall or they were taken out of really severe situations, physical abuse, sexual abuse, and they were living in this home and going to school there. And when we got the yoga program, I would get assignments and homework back from the kids saying, well, I wanted to punch this other guy in the face, but I remembered what you said about deep breathing and finding that grounding, and I was able to walk away.
Great.
Things that they're so simple, and this is how so many people would think on a daily basis, okay, just, you know, don't get involved. But when you see kids coming from these environments, that they're not raised to take a breath and walk away. And to see that after just a few short sessions, it was really changing them in terms of confidence, their ability, they felt empowered. And beyond that, they were making better decisions that were going to facilitate a brighter future.
Right. And I like that because I do believe that our school system needs more of this type of exercise. And also we live in a pharmaceutical country. All right. So everything, if you have some pain, you have all of these things, go take this pain medicine. There's commercials now if you're feeling sad and whatever, and what have you, go get some Abilify and all these things. But simple yoga techniques, simple anti-gravity, the other techniques that you talked about as well. You're a perfect example of how pharmaceutical drugs wasn't necessary. I see no scratches on your face. I've seen you in action in terms of your yoga and all the things that you bring to the community, to the clients that come to your program, and programs, because you have programs Monday through Sunday throughout the day and in the evening. You're servicing babies, okay, 6 months old to the elderly.
Absolutely.
So there is a wide range of population that can utilize this service, and that's why I felt it was important to bring you on, because there doesn't have to be so much of a dependency, but a need for an alternative, a holistic approach. So I know we're going to come back. We're going to take a short break, and then we're going to come back and we're going to do some, have some demonstrations of some yoga techniques that people can use. Again, there's a lot of societal issues going on. People are feeling stressed, have financial issues, as you talked about, so many issues that can change the way you think on a day-to-day basis. So a few techniques that you can take and utilize for yourself can help a great deal. So we're going to take a short break and we'll be right back.
We're going to do a live commercial. Hi, I'm Renee Marie. I'm the president of Language of Love Incorporated Foundation. I'm really happy to tell you that we're going to be doing a Language of Love telethon on March 29, 2015 from 2 p.m. to 8 p.m. Please look for the location on my website, ReneeMarieLanguageOfLove.org. And once again, it's ReneeMarieLanguageOfLove.org. And the show will be hosted on the Madhouse TV. It really is important for you to be aware of strokes and aphasia. Strokes is the third leading cause of death in America and the first leading cause of disability. And it really is something that plays no favoritism. And it also really comes when you're not expecting. Nobody expects to have a stroke, and nobody expects to suffer from aphasia. And it really does make a huge impact in your life and change your life in one split second. So we look forward to having everyone join us once again on March 29, 2015 from 2 p.m. to 8 p.m. And you can follow us on ReneeMarieLanguageOfLove.org. Once again, it's ReneeMarieLanguageOfLove.org. And we look forward to seeing you. God bless.
Hi, I'm Tom Mealy from Madhouse TV, and when I'm not at the studio, I'm here at the Harrison Law Group. This is my real job. And this January 2015, Brett and I are putting together a show called Legal Straight Talk. It'll be aired on Cablevision as well as here at Madhouse TV. You need to tune in. This information that we're going to be giving the public is the real deal. It's all about what you should do, what you shouldn't do. So tune in this January 2015 for a new episode of Legal Straight Talk.
Let our creativity work for you. We design business cards, brochures, annual reports, newsletters and magazines, menus and programs, flyers and mailers, signs and posters and more. We also do voiceovers. First impressions matter. Make yours count with an expressive voice artist. Distinctive, warm, soothing, natural delivery that can add believability and appeal to any audio project. Contact us to discuss how we can make your project a success. Sierra Graphics. That's info@sierragraphics.com.
Welcome back to I Have a Dream Too. We're just here talking with Vanessa Caffiero, owner of Emerge Yoga and Wellness. So she's going to have a demonstration going on some yoga techniques. So Vanessa?
So over there is my business partner, Jennifer Nelson.
Okay.
And a lot of times people will tell me, I don't have the time, I can't do this. Peaceful is for people who are, having all of this expendable, time in their schedule, and I don't have that. But I say it's not about how much you're doing. It's not about you making time to come to a yoga class 5 days a week. But every day there's a little thing that you can do that can ground you and get you through the rest of the day feeling enlivened, feeling refreshed. So Jen is going to demonstrate a few things that you can do simply sitting at your desk. If you're in a cubicle all day, just going through some basic stretches, breathing techniques, and using essential oils can make the difference in the hours that follow.
I think that's awesome.
So some basic things I always like to start with is what I call deep belly breathing. So Jen will take her right hand to her chest, left hand to her belly. And what that does automatically when you touch your belly with your hand, it allows the breath to go deeper into the lower diaphragm. Right there, it looks so simple, but as we begin to breathe into the lower region of our abdomen, it facilitates a physiological response that taps us into the part of our nervous system that has to do with resting and relaxation. All of the time we're stuck driving our cars and having anxiety and our breath is up in our chest, and that keeps us in that fight or flight mode. So simply by placing your hands on your abdomen, it creates a proprioceptive response and allows the breath to go deeper.
Excellent.
Right there, some gentle stretches you can do simply at the office. She'll take her right hand to the right side and lift the right hand to the right side. And then left arm on the couch. You got it. Right hand down on the couch. You're doing great. And then bring her left hand to her knee, and she'll take a gentle twist. That'll open up the upper back a little bit. And when you open up the spaces between your rib cage, it allows you to take in a deeper breath. She's going to keep her hand where it is on her knee, and then cross the right arm over the left. Bend both elbows and lift up into what we call an eagle wrap. So she's going to bend both elbows, wrap them around. As she presses her forearms forward, that'll create space behind her rib cage. And all the time when we're sitting at a computer desk and arching forward, that's the spot on our backs that gets really tense. Simply inhaling and turning her head to the right, she could look over her shoulder and get a stretch on the left side of her neck, opening up those breathing passageways. And then inhale back through center and exhale, twist the other way. As she inhales and comes back through center, she can circle her arms out, around, and up. And when she interlaces her fingers at the top and presses her palms up towards the ceiling, that stretch, as simple as it looks, opens up the rotator cuff muscles.
And what is that?
That's the muscles that a lot of people say they have a shoulder injury or they have frozen shoulder, and people will feel tension in their neck. By opening up that area by the armpits is going to alleviate a tremendous amount of tension in the upper back and in the spine. Simply by interlacing her fingers behind her head and then opening the elbows out in both directions, she'll expand across the chest. It's kind of like you're reclining on a beach chair, even if you're sitting in front of the computer screen. Maybe a nice screensaver here for ambiance.
Right.
And then hypothetically, she could repeat on the other side. Another thing I do frequently, she has next to her a bottle of Young Living essential oils, and I have seen so often that simply by inhaling the essential oils, it will have an immediate effect on the nervous system. A little science, I won't bore you too much, but the limbic system of our brain, or that area that has to do with our emotions, anger, aggression, sadness, everything else, even happiness and joy, is so stimulated by the sense of smell. That's why you can walk into a room, smell an apple pie, and be automatically, triggered back to your grandmother, cooking 10 years previously. So simply by inhaling the oils, beyond getting the medicine from the oil going into our system, peppermint she has right now is really uplifting and awakening. So someone who's been sitting there at the computer all day might feel tired and run down a little bit. Beyond just having that uplifting effect, it will chemically change what's going on in her brain. And that's science.
Right. And you don't need a prescription for it.
You don't need a prescription for it. It's 100% natural. And because it's natural, there's no side effects. Safe to use with children as well.
Right. And even at your studio, you can have a deep tissue massage with all the different oils through Young Living. I know that that's a great company that everything is all natural. And has great therapeutic, as you said, the peppermint is something that alleviates a lot of things people are experiencing, have pain management issues and so forth, can come to the studio and experience a whole emerging of feeling good and peace and balance. So this has been great. I love it. I will be coming to the studio as well. You know that, right there in Belmar. So your classes, everything you can find on emergeyogawellness.com. All of your classes, all of your services are right there on your website. Anything you want to say at this point?
Our motto at the studio that I have a little tagline, we always say engage, evolve, emerge. And I've seen in traditional medicine, oftentimes a lot of people are looking for a quick fix from somewhere else. And what's been incredible for me and literally life-changing and life-saving is being able to recognize that I can be an active proponent in my own health and well-being. And that's what we try to convey to our clients, that you have the chance to really make a change.
Right, and you're also a testimony. You could stand before people and say, this is what happened to me, this is what I did to infuse the yoga and all of these different techniques as well as the oils, and stand before people and say, I didn't even use any kind of pharmaceutical drugs, I'm at peace and balance, please come and emerge with me. And that's really what it's about. So I want to thank you for coming on, and we'll definitely talk and see what we can do together and empowering people. And I like the fact that you are empowering others through your own testimony. And this has been awesome. So again, they can reach you at emergeyogawellness.com. Is there a phone number?
516-781-1078.
Okay, great. And any last thoughts? 2 seconds.
Thank you so much for having me.
You're welcome. You're welcome. Definitely. Again, we are here every Wednesday from 6 to 7 p.m. on I Have a Dream 2. And we are here empowering people. And we know that people have a dream. And we want to be able to unleash the fears. Take a risk. Take a risk. We have 2 great guests on today who took that risk and said no. And diffuse the fact of someone says, no, you can't. And that's one of my things. If someone tells me you can't, you know what, Jackie's going to say, yeah, right, I'm going to do it anyway. I'm going to take that risk. So the thing is to redefine your purpose, your place, and your possibilities. And we will be here next week. Also, you can find me on Facebook. And if you want to be in touch with me, please go to my email. My website is under construction still, but it's I Have a Dream 2. TOO2013@gmail.com. And again, thank you for demonstrating. That was wonderful. I appreciate that. I really appreciate that. Again, thank you. And because you have a dream too. Good night.